After finding Urabe's beads, we decided to call off the search for the night and head back. Once we reached the hospital, once we reached the hotel, everyone headed to Mitarashi's room.
Yo, 遅かったじゃないか。心配したぜ。
おかえりなさい。
They both smiled as we stepped inside.
心配したのは俺たちの方だ。どうだ、怪我の具合は。
見ての通り、ピンピンしてるぜ。
お兄ちゃんさっき痛いって。
まあいい、そりゃ秘密だ。
ごめんなさい。
I looked around the room and saw that everyone was smiling.
ほっとしたら、なんだか無性に腹が減ってきやがった。
Oh, here you go. You got something at the restaurant. You too, Mai. Eat up.
ありがとう。
サンキュー。俺もありがたく頂戴するぜ。
He began shoveling food into his mouth the moment it was in his hands, so we found all places to sit down and dug into our own dinners. While we ate, we talked about the attraction we played that day.
やっぱり、今日もやばいやつだったんだな。
Mitarashi frowned. He finished eating long before the rest of us.
俺が参加してさえいればな。
いや、ひとまず前の面倒を見てくれて助かったよ。こっちは指導の活躍でなんとかなったしな。それにお前が一緒に過ごしてくれたおかげか、前が昨日よりも落ち着いたように感じる。
そっか。俺ホスト辞めてホスターにでも転職すっかな。
似合うかも。
冗談だって。でもまあ、子供は笑顔が一番だからな。
Yeah, but most kids are brats. You know, depending on the... A lot of anime always has this, like, nice kid. Is always very polite and everything. But most kids are brats, so...
確かに僕もそう思うよ。
てか、お前だってまだ子供じゃねえか。
Was it just me or did Wakasa react kind of weirdly? Is it? What did he say? He said, yeah, right. You know, yeah, right?
確かに僕もそう思うよ。
Because, yeah, Mitarashi said nothing like seeing a kid smile, you know? And Wakasa was like, yeah, I agree, you know, sort of. But then he's kind of nervous about it, weirdly enough. I don't know. What does that mean? Anyway, maybe if you go down his route, maybe you'll learn more about why he became a pop idol, maybe? That's why?
それで、
Part of the reason.
浦部は結局見つかってねえのか。
He looked suddenly serious as Shirabe handed him the prayer beads and explained what he found.
そうか。あいつ、ワルドブータワーに捕まってるかもしれねえのか。
確証をつかんだわけじゃないが、おそらくはな。
心配だな。
Silence fell over the room. Each one of us was thinking about what could have happened to Urabe.
ところで、今日のゲームの成功報酬のことなんだが。
He looked around expectantly.
そういえば、いつも受け取ってる成功報酬のキーワード、意味がわからないよね。
ああ、もしかするとこいつが解明できればワルドブーの企みや正体もわかるんじゃないかと思ってな。
なるほど。今日のメモに書かれていたのは K1 か。
K1. Yeah, we never really did that, by the way. In Miyoshi's around, we didn't really solve the mystery of the passwords in the chest or anything. K1. The others were Sun and 07.
で、昨日はクリアに失敗しちまったせいで成功報酬がなかったと。
Yeah, and it seems like we would never get that one, you know? It seems like in every round we always fail on the third attraction, right? The hospital one. So we just never get that password ever. So I don't know.
それが悔やまれるな。
今までのキーワードだって全く意味がわからないし、昨日のがあったって大して変わらないんじゃない？
さっぱりわからんな。
I was gonna read that because I thought it was Saki saying that because you know there was no voice dialogue, but actually there was just a bit of a pause. Anyway, we spent a little longer discussing them, but nothing came out of it. I should tell Uncle Keiji about the rewards, though. Maybe he'll know something. Keiji Inafune. I don't know if I mentioned before. I believe, yeah, he's a real developer, and he's known for making Mega Man, you know? Which also reminds me of Mighty Number 9, actually. That was the most recent, I guess. Kind of like, I don't know, it was like a reboot, remake, but like a reimagining, I guess, of the Mega Man series. But it's infamous for not doing all that well, you know? Despite everyone's anticipation. I believe, I never played it myself, but apparently Mighty Number 9, who supposedly was directed by the same Keiji Inafune, who made Mega Man, you know? But apparently it just wasn't all that great. Anyway, that's kind of like insulting to say, like, you know, because apparently he's a legendary game developer, especially in this game, because this game was made in, like, I believe 2012, right? 2012? So back then, you know, everyone loved it. But nowadays, you know. After a few more minutes of talking about nothing important, Mai started to nod off, so we decided it was time to go to bed. I might be wrong though, I don't know if he was the director of Mighty Number 9, but I think he was involved. I don't know. Anyway. Gosh, is every game gonna be this exhausting? I laid down on my bed and ran over the day's events in my head. I wonder if Shidou swapped out that wrap I gave him. He probably showered and taken it off. I decided to go drop by his room. Oh, sorry, it's me, Inafune. Are you still up?
どうした？
No, I'm fine. I was just wondering if you remembered to change your wrap after the shower.
なんだ、そんなことか。だったら心配は無用だ。ちゃんと変えておいた。
Good, glad to hear it. As you know, Saki just awkwardly twiddles her thumbs in front of his doorway. What are you laughing at?
お前はなんだか変なやつだな。
Odd?
いや、悪い。これでも褒めているんだ。こう、普通とは違うというか、変わっているというか。
Ah, yes, the old, like, you know, you're different from the other girls pickup line, you know? It's like, that's not much better.
そうか。俺はこれでもすごく褒めているつもりなんだが。
What are you trying to say?
ああ、今までに見たこともないくらいに鋭い直感を持っている。なのに時々早とちりでおっちょこちょいだ。
You're really bad at giving compliments.
すまない。でもここまで本音で話せるのは俺がお前を信頼しているからなんだぞ。
Oh, well, what is this? My heart is gonna go doki doki.
だから
I guess.
そんな顔をするな。
It really is. This definitely is definitely a very vanilla route, you know, where it's like Saki is like, oh no, these guys, he's making my heart throb, I guess. What do you say? I wasn't paying attention. I was too distracted by Saki's reactions to his advances. I didn't mean to do that. Don't make that face. Don't make that face. What? He suddenly reached down and pinched one of my cheeks gently.
お前は笑っていた方がいいぞ。
You look better when you're smiling. Is that? I always hear that, but like in a negative connotation, you know? Like it's like one of the worst things you could say to someone, because it's kind of insulting. It's like you have to force yourself to look happy or something. I don't know.
と引きつってるのは俺のせいか。
No, I guess it depends on the context. I mean, the original context of using that phrase is not to make someone force themselves to, you know, look happy. It's more so like, if you're sad, I prefer it when you're happy, is what that phrase originally meant. But sometimes people like make a joke of how like that's actually pretty insulting sometimes if you just say it to someone's face. But he let go of my cheek and stepped back.
俺のことはもういいから、そろそろ休め。明日も気を抜けない一日になるだろうからな。
Okay, good night.
おやすみ、サキ。
He's just first name basis on everyone, isn't he? After he closed the door, I just stood there for a few long moments before shaking myself and heading back to my room. He wasn't drunk or something, was he? What? Are you sure you're not drunk, Saki? Shidou had been right about needing sleep, though. I just climbed to bed when I heard a knock on my door. Yes? I opened the door to find Mai. Presumably, she wanted to sleep with me again. Alright, let's get to bed. I grinned and lifted her up onto the bed. You're not gonna sleep with Ryusei?
お姉ちゃんのところに行きなさいって言われちゃった。
I guess. Gender norms. Because, you know, a little girl sleeping with a older, stranger guy, I guess that's sort of weird. But then why wouldn't you sleep with your dad? I mean, it makes more sense to sleep with your dad, but then again, I guess her dad is kind of a stranger to her, because he hasn't been there for quite a while, you know, during her childhood, which again, kind of makes him a really bad dad, doesn't it? But,
寝言がすごいから恥ずかしいんだって。
Really? Are you serious? At least Mai will keep me from thinking about Shidou all night. We ended up talking for a little while, we ended up talking for a little while longer before finally drifting off to sleep. We hadn't noticed it, but the shadow of our doom was already creeping up to our feet. Okay, more of this pendant dreams, by the way.
眠っ
Okay, this is the same one. All right. So yeah, we already saw. So the pendant. It seems like the pendant ones, pendant dreams or whatever, locket dreams, or not really dreams, locket memories. I don't know what you call it, but those seem to be the same. Anyway, stage 5 of Shidou's route. It seems like it's gonna be substantial actually, because yeah, it does seem like it branches off quite differently depending on who you romance in this game, which is a little interesting. I'm gonna be honest, I don't really care too much about the romantic aspect, you know, of like visual novels too much. I'm not really, I mean honest, I don't really play dating sims all that much either, is the thing. But I do like the idea of like, the fact that because of these different routes, there's a bit of like, kind of like parallel dimensions, sort of, you know, even though it's not really intended. So there is like kind of like these branching stories that you learn about the characters and different aspects of the mystery. I do like that. I don't know. Well, in the morning, Mai and I ate breakfast and then headed for the lobby. I'm just kind of, I don't know, I'm like, it's not like I hate romance necessarily, and like stories and everything. It's just like a lot of the times, especially in anime, because I watch so much anime, you know, it just tends to be kind of like superficial. I don't know. Like if you're gonna add romance elements to a story, either it's gonna be more nuanced than like, oh, I like this guy and he likes me, and then eventually the character like shares in their trauma to the protagonist, and then they fall in love, happy end. You know, it's like, I want a little bit more than that. You know, a little bit more conflict, more drama. Or, you know, the opposite, I guess, would be like, you know, the romance, they don't take it too seriously. Instead, it's just lighthearted, and you know, doesn't. It's just the romance is just a setup for like making a bunch of jokes. You know, that's also kind of all right for me. But otherwise, it was just like straight up just vanilla normal romance. It's kind of like doesn't really do it for me. I've already seen so much of romance anime, so I already know all the tropes and cliches. Anyway, gosh, I feel kind of nervous about seeing Shidou. Once I woken up, memories of the night before had kept popping up faster than I could shove them away. Anyway, enough about me like ranting about romance anime. What the heck is going on with me? I was still deep in thought when Shidou himself walked up to me.
おはよう、サキ。
Hi! So I guess we're on first name basis now? Although I knew I wasn't the only one. Alright, Inafune, you need to calm down. Snap out of it. You got stuff to do. Bit by bit, the others trickled into the lobby, except for Mitarashi. Shidou noticed Mai standing next to me and gave me a sort of "I'm sorry" smile. I shook my head and told him it was no problem at all. I wasn't really doing much after all. I drifted off again when Wakasa spoke up.
なんで彼女を見てニヤニヤしてるのさ。
俺のことか。
シドウさんに言ってるんだからそうに決まってるじゃん。
ニヤニヤなどしていないが。
してた。めちゃくちゃしてた。
そんなことはない。別に俺はニヤニヤなどと。
Nya nya, what did he say? Nya nya?
そんなことはない。別に俺はニヤニヤなどと。
Nya nya? Nya nya? I don't know, I'm not familiar with that word. But I guess, you know, like smiling, nya nya or whatever. He looked slightly shaken. Why would Shidou be looking at me? Wakasa had to have been mistaken.
まあ、指導のやつがニヤニヤしてた件
Nya nya? What is it? Nya nya? Nya nya? Nya nya?
だから俺はニヤニヤなどしてはいないと。
Nya nya? What did he say? Nya? Anyway.
まあまあ、それよりみたらしのやつが熱を出したそうだ。
熱？
Oh, is he okay?
ああ、おそらく怪我から来るものだろう。で、今日のことだが。
どう考えても流星は連れて行けんな。
Still out of action. I wonder how it goes in his route then. Do we just, you know, stay back? Or maybe...
だが熱を出してるやつのところに置いていっても大丈夫だろうか。
Maybe he's like, instead of staying back, he actually moves forward anyway, despite his injuries? I don't know. Like, I'm just thinking. In his route.
じゃないしね。熱が移ることは心配しなくていいと思うよ。
Are you sure? You know, maybe you should wash your hands and put on a mask. You never know, actually. He's caught the corona. No.
そうか。ならまい。頼んだぞ。
She looked pretty excited. I'm worried about Mitarashi, but if we don't beat today's game, that won't matter much. Once we got to the plaza, Hogstein didn't waste any time.
ま、なんとかなるだろう。
The pig actually seemed almost disappointed by Shidou's disinterested response, but quickly moved on to his next point. A surprise.
嫌な予感がする。
まあ、やつの言うサプライズだからな。
くだらない前置きはいい。さっさとそのサプライズとやらの内容を言え。
I'm assuming Urabe. What? Nani? The image of Hogstein disappeared to be replaced with... Yep. Urabe! On the screen, we could see Urabe unconscious. He was only there for a split second before the pig reappeared. What is a man? A miserable pile of secrets, but enough talk. Have at you. Ah! Shidou stepped forward.
わかった。だが、もし今日のゲームクリアに成功したら、
Oops, I didn't mean to skip it.
わかった。だが、もし今日のゲームクリアに成功したら、浦部は返してもらおう。
Yep.
それでこそイーブンな賭けだ。その方がゲームが面白くなるはず。違うか？
Time to get mad again. Let me just save, just in case, getting mad will make him actually blow us up. Reminds me of like a dungeon master in like D&D. If I'm sad one day, I'm just gonna drop some rocks on your characters, and then you all die at the end. Gosh darn it. He's really cheesing me off. He's acting like our lives don't mean, well, anything. And what makes him think he's the law? I am the law. I am the law. Get mad. Where do you get off treating us like they were just toys or something? If you're all gonna do is push us around whenever you feel like being a jerk, what's the point of having rules in the first place? With that, he was gone.
よし。これで今日のゲームを乗り切れば。
ああ、浦部が帰ってくる。
He might still be being, blackmailed though. He might still be motivated to betray us. Because he was initially the traitor anyway. I don't know. Well, filled with our new determination and determination and focus, we headed out. Alright, what are we gonna do? This time we're not sidetracked by some weird, like, island zombie attack. And actually do another attraction we haven't seen before.
今日のゲームの舞台はこのランドのアトラクションは見たらしから一通り聞いてるんだろう
Miyoshi nodded.
今日のコミュニティバザールはエリア全体が巨大なショッピングモールになってるらしい。
おっと、今日はアトラクションじゃないのか。
それで、そのショッピングモールのモチーフになっているゲームは
バザールプラネットっていうゲームで宇宙に自分の店である惑星プラネットを出店できるんだ。
Okay. Is it like, well, it kind of reminds me of, what's that game? I forgot the game's name. But it's like you play as like a little anime girl, and then you just like run like a store, and you sell things. And her catchphrase is like, capitalism ho, capitalism ho! What's it called? I kind of forgot what it was called, but it was a very unique game. I think you buy it on Steam.
客として訪れた他のユーザーのキャラに向けて物が売買できる。のんびり生活型のコミュニティシミュレーションだ。
Pretty much just for casuals though? I don't know. You ever see those MMOs, or those community, or not community, those marketplace auctions? Those are pretty, what's the word? Cutthroat, It's just, some people, they play MMOs just to do that. Sometimes they just play as, like, weird merchants, where they just, like, try to make profits from buying and selling. It seems like a tough business. I don't know, it doesn't seem fun to me. But I always see other people, like, just do that the entire time. They don't even play the game. They just like get
だから老若男女問わず人気があるゲームなんだ。
they just get like a bunch of money and then just gonna get really rare items and everything. And that's just all they do. Anyway, Bakusan finally spoke up.
浦部さん、みんなの解放を訴えてくれたんだね。絶対に助け出さなきゃ。
人質が誰だろうと俺たちがやることは変わらないさ。
Shidou's tone was harsh and determined.
シドウさん冷たいよ。
He's not being cold at all, Wakasa. Or rather, he's not being cold at all. Wakasa just doesn't get it. Even if Shidou looks calm, he's probably more fired up right now than any of us. That's why he asked for Urabe if we beat the game. He'd do anything to protect us. I have to do my best. I gotta help the park and get Urabe back. Well, they really went all the way of the space theme, huh? Reciteer, that's the name, by the way. Reciteer is the name of the game I was thinking. Where like you manage like a shop, and you sell items and everything. If the situation had been different, I probably would have had a lot of fun shopping, but as it was... His transmission cut out as one of the piglets stepped forward.
そこのショップに入れって言ってる。
やれやれ。それじゃあ行くかね。
Okay. We followed the piglet into one of the shops. Okay, a lot of merchandise about Hogstein. And oh god, is this place selling Count Hogstein stuff? It was packed with all sorts of different things, but every single one had Hogstein's image on it. In the center of the room was a statue of an alien. It was holding a large tray, and on its chest was a digital panel of some sort.
いらっしゃいませ。さあまずは小手調べだよ。
Did what you say? How you say? You always say that when you enter a shop, or at least, you know, the employee says that.
いらっしゃいませ。
Irashamase, right?
いらっしゃいませ。
Irashaimase? Irashaimase? Is that what we say? Irashaimase! The voice seemed to come from the statue.
ただいま100円均一セール中のこのお店に一つだけ定価のものが売ってるよ。なんとその額1万円。それがなんだかわかるかな？
Is that the game? You know, find the one thing that costs 10,000 yen? With that, the statue fell silent. So, he's asking us to look for something that costs 10,000 yen, right?
ああ、みんなで店の中を探してみよ
う。でも探すって言ったって、ここの商品一つも値札がついてないよ。
Well, if I had to guess, maybe you pick one and you put it in the tray and it'll say whether or not, like, what the price is and everything. But, you know, I guess the 06 also maybe indicates like how many tries you get. So in a way, yeah, it's kind of like a puzzle. Again, I'm kind of slightly disappointed that you don't actually do the puzzles yourselves, right? Everyone else just kind of figures it out, you know, while you just kind of stand back, and sometimes you get an explosive insight, but usually everyone else just solves it for you. I don't know. Yeah. Because this one seems interesting. What you could do probably is use some kind of strategy. Oh, it kind of reminds me of Professor Layton, actually. Like, maybe you could, like, put multiple items on the tray, just to, like, because probably if you have 6 tries, what you could probably do is cut everything into 6 groups, and put everything, like, put one group on the tray, and then if it all amounts to, like, you know, the same number as if it would be for if every item was, like, 10 yen, you would just simply say, oh, that's not it. So you go to another one and check all of them as well. But I guess you only have 6 tries. I guess you would have 5 groups instead of 6. You would divide everything by 5 and check each group. And if the one group shows that it has like way more than the other ones, then you would be able to tell which one it has, and then you would divide by that. But then, But that would be hard though. But then, yeah, then you still wouldn't know which one exactly would be the one with the 10,000 yen. Unless somehow you would find some kind of pattern, maybe. Like what the items would be the same item technically, and that would cost like 10 yen? I don't know. Or 1 yen? How was it? Was it 100 yen? Was it? I don't know. Well, without price tags, how are we supposed to know what anything costs? Shidou stared at the statue for a few long moments.
どうもこの宇宙人のトレーに何かを載せるとカウンターに値段が表示される仕組みになっているようだな。
Shidou tapped its head.
こいつのおでこに大きく書かれている6って
I'm gonna waste it. You only got 6 tries, probably.
何か載せてみるか。
Gonna waste that try. Or waste that attempt. Okay, might as well start with this. I got 5 tries now. I picked up a sort of pendant with Hogstein's face on it and set it down on the tray. Ding. Oh. The panel changed to show 100 yen, and the number in the statue's head clicked down to 5.
数字が減った。これはどうやら。
チャンスはあと5回。
Yep. Kinda wasted that one. You only have 5 tries to find it.
無数にあるこのグッズの山の中からか。
How
海
would
に
you
落
do
ち
it?
た小石を探すようなもんだな。
Yeah, there's way too many items. I mean, you have to find, I guess, a pattern. You know, like probably the same item. Maybe all pendants will cost 100 yen. You know, so you really just have to divide by groups to see which one is which.
まずは1万円しそうなグッズを集めよう。アナウンスは一つだけ定価のものが売ってると言った。それなら1万円のグッズは普段から1万円で売られているもののはずだ。
Okay, that is smart. It's not arbitrarily like costing 10,000 yen. It just costed like that normally. Is it 10,000, 100,000, 10,000? Anyway, we all nodded and headed off to different parts of the store to look. Alright, I guess I'll start here. Huh? Someone tapped my shoulder and I turned around to see Shidou. What's wrong?
一緒にグッズを選ばないか。こういう場所にはあまり慣れていなくてな。正直見当もつかないんだ。
Yeah, sure. Shall we? And we began to search for the items in the corner of the store. Well, 10,000 yen is pretty expensive. What about these earrings?
ピアスというのは高いものなのか。
You wouldn't know? I'm not sure. It's hard to tell what they're made out of. They look pretty manufactured. I say they're more expensive than a lot of this stuff.
なるほどな。しかしさっきも言ったが、俺はこういうことに疎くてな。
Apparently so.
すまん。こっちのぬいぐるみなんかはどうだ。
A stuffed animal? Well, some of the bigger ones get expensive, but I frowned and thought as I examined the shelves of stuffed Count Hogsteins.
やはりお前もこういったものが好きなのか。
Huh?
あ、いや、いきなり関係ないことを聞いてすまない。
Oh my god. Was he blushing? Do I like, I mean, does Saki like stuffed animals? That's like, depends on the player, I guess. But I don't know. Maybe yes? I'm not really a fan of Hogstein, so I don't like these, but yeah, I do like stuffed animals.
そうなのか。
Why do you look so surprised?
いや、死刑。一緒にいるとあまり感じないが、お前も女の子なんだな。
Heart, okay. We have to act girly in order to get attraction points. What? I wasn't sure what he meant by that, but whatever it was, he seemed to find it funny. Oh well. After a few minutes of searching, we all met back up the scale with about 30 different pieces of merchandise. All the Wakasa stuff looks it could be in the right price range. What the heck was Shidou and Miyoshi thinking? They brought back a bucket, a dustpan, and several Hogstein-shaped hats. Oh, okay.
さき、この中から明らかに安そうなものを探して弾いてくれないか。
Are you sure you want to trust me with that?
買い物のことは女の子が一番詳しそうだし、いいんじゃない？
I guess more like references to gender norms. We're just gonna like let that pass. Alright, just give me a minute. Obviously you're a girl. Obviously you know about shopping, I guess. I felt a slight twinge of guilt as I threw out pretty much everything Miyoshi and Shidou had brought. When I was done, we were left with 16 items.
さて、これからどうするか。
He rubbed his beard and stared at our pile of He rubbed his beard and stared at our pile of stuff.
あと5回しかチャンスがないからな。せめてこのグッズの中に正解が含まれてるかどうかだけでもわかるといいんだが。
Let's see. Why don't we try? Put them all on the tray. I mean, it kind of makes sense actually. That was my initial plan. So we have like at least narrowed it down. So why not put them all in the tray? It kind of makes sense. It's to make sure that we do have the right one instead of just guessing, you know. But then that's just to guarantee that we have the right one. But then it also takes down some chances. I don't know. Let's try that. Maybe it's the dumbest idea. Why don't we just put them all in the tray? Really? It is? Oh, really?
いや、そうでもない。
Huh?
アナウンスでは一度に物を乗せるなとは言われていない。その方法で回数オーバーせずに正解がわかるかもしれないぞ。
Art. Okay, that was the right answer.
そうか。一度に複数個乗せることを想定してるから、トレイがやけに大きいのか。
You know, in that case, we could just put everything, you know, literally the entire store, put it in a giant bag. It would be incredibly large. Just dump it on the tray, and then maybe we win.
ああ、この中に正解が含まれていれば、計算上はクリアできる。
Huh?
まずは全部一度に乗せてみよう。もし1万円のものが含まれていれば、金額は当然1万円を超えるはず。
I didn't think about that actually. Because if you do that, yeah, I mean, basically that was my initial plan. But I didn't realize that maybe if you include the one that costs us over 10,000, you still win, you know? Because I was thinking like maybe you still have to like eliminate everything else to make sure that it's 10,000. There's only the one item. But if it counts, you know, even if you put other items, then maybe you win anyway? Alright, well, let's get going then. We quickly heaped all the junk we collected onto the tray. Oh. The cost display changed to 11,500, and the number on the alien's forehead dropped to 4.
よし、この中に正解が入っているのは間違いない。
Okay, no.
半分の8個を乗せてみよう。
It is what I was thinking. So yeah, it doesn't count if you just put everything. You'd still have to split it up and everything, but yeah. But it is definitely what I was thinking. Like, once you know that it's in there, you just simply split it up to make sure, you know, to the process of elimination. Split into 2 groups. You put one group there, and you put another group there, and either way, it'll eliminate one group, and it'll narrow it down even more. Okay, just...
ちょっと待ってよ。チャンスはあとたったの4回しかないんだよ。もしその8個に正解が入ってなかったら1回損しちゃうじゃない。
いや、もし正解が入ってなかったとしたら、乗せなかった残り半分に正解が入っていることになる。
Yeah, that makes sense.
そっか、なるほど。
It's, I mean, it really is like Professor. I remember doing a puzzle like this in Professor Layton. So we did as Shidou suggested. The items we tested didn't contain the right one, and the number of the tries remaining dropped to 3. Now let's just flip them again. We have the 8 remaining items and put 4 in the tray. This time it said 10,300. 2 tries left. Okay, now just 2. The cost showed 10,100. 1 try left.
次で最後だね。
Right. I looked at the last 2 items for a long minute and finally chose the stuffed Count Hogstein. Slowly, carefully, I set it down on the tray. I guess that one costs 10,000? The price was exactly 10,000. As that appeared, the number on the alien's forehead flipped to 0. Well, that was kind of lucky, to be honest. Like 50-50 right there. And the answer is this stuffed Count Hogstein, right?
小手調べは僕の負けだね。そのグッズは君たちにプレゼント。
It almost seemed like it was answering me.
とまずはクリアできたな。
But the alien wasn't finished talking. Oh no.
でもギリギリまで回数を使っちゃったね。うっしし。
負け惜しみか？ギリギリまで回数を使ったら何が？
Uh-oh. Is there like more technically? There was like a part 2 to the puzzle, but then you used up all your attempts?
ちょっと待って。何か聞こえる。
He pointed at the door in the rear of the shop and we all ran up to it to listen. You're right. Sort of a gurgling? What?
ああ、聞こえるな。
Shidou quickly examined the door. It didn't appear to be
よ
locked.
し、隣の部屋に入ってみよ
Slowly and carefully, he opened the door. Okay, is this gonna be another weird logic puzzle that involves like, you know, is in the other type of puzzle, another type of like logic puzzle where you move liquids around on different containers or something? I don't know, something like that's just what the giant container here reminds me of. Like you gotta have the exact amount of liquid in this particular container from various other containers in order to solve the puzzle or something, you know? Though the room was dimly lit, but full of fish tanks of various sizes, the room was dimly lit, but full of fish tanks of various sizes. Many of them held swarms of colorful tropical fish. In the center of the room was a huge cylindrical tank. Next to it was a statue just like the one in the previous room. Oh no, look! I gasped in shock. Well, there he is. Inside the tank was Urabe. It was filling gradually with water, which had already passed his knees. That was the source of the noise we'd heard. Oh no.
う。おい、浦部、浦部。
Urabe! He pounded on the tank, but he was unconscious and didn't seem to hear us.
水、もう浦部さんのお腹のところまで来ちゃってる。
おい、この水槽の上にある数字は何だ？
Above the tank was the display showing 6 out of 10.
6? ってまさかさっきの宇宙人のおでこの数字と連動してる？
Does that mean every time we made a guess, the tank got more water?
そうか。さっきのアナウンスの負け惜しみはこれを指してたのか。
くそ、あと4回水が流れ込めば浦部の体は完全に水没してしまう。
And we get to watch. That's pretty... I mean, that's pretty morbid.
この水槽がいっぱいになっちゃったら君たちの負けだよ。
Everyone gets to watch him drown. And it's all your fault. I wasn't sure if I imagined it, but the alien's voice sounded almost happy. On its forehead was a number 4, just like on the other statue when it dropped to 0. No, I don't want to think about it.
ここからが本当のお買い物。売買テクニックがものを言うから、せいぜい頑張ろうね。
The alien cackled.
今から5回お買い物をしてもらうよ。お小遣いは1万円。予算が足りなくならないようにうまくやりくりしてね。
20 coins with 500 written on them tumbled out of the alien's mouth, 10,000 yen.
1万円で5回買い物をするか。
A light flicked on, illuminating one of the fish tanks.
順番に売り物をお知らせするよ。その品物にここまでなら出してもいいって金額をかけてね。
Okay, is it like the price is right or something?
もしその金額が品物の値段より高ければ品物を手に入れることができるよ。
つまり答えた金額が品物の値段より低ければ品物を手に入れることはできないわけか。おそらく買い物に失敗すると宇宙人のおでこの数字が減る仕組みになっているんだろう。
なんかややこしいね。
要は値段当てゲームだ。その品物の値段を予想し、買えるであろう最低の金額を答える。大事なのは5回で1万円をやりくりする部分だろうな。 配分を考えないと後で金が足りなくなる。
It really depends on how many items there are.
金額を渋って買い物を失敗したら、あの水槽に水が溜まっていく。
Because, you know, unless there's any other clues on how many of these fish tanks cost, I guess. Generally speaking, you want to choose the average, right? Mathematically. So you just simply count how many items there are and divide it by that many, and, you know, you have your average price, and, well, I don't know, depends, I guess. Depends on the rules. But that sounds tough.
失敗は許されない。慎重に行くしかないな。
Shidou sighed and walked up the lit tank.
さて、この魚の値段がいくらなのかだが。
There are 10 small colorful fish in it.
誰か熱帯魚に詳しい人間はいないか？
We all shook our heads. Whoops, nobody is a fish expert.
ただのメダカにしか見えんな。せいぜい1匹100円程度じゃないかと思うが。
There's a chance they're more expensive than they look. I mean, is this decision actually important? Because again, a lot of the decisions in this game doesn't really matter too much. You know, whether or not we lose or not. You know, there's maybe some like choices that actually we end up losing, but it's like right away. This one seems like, you know, if we lose, it's like, I don't know, it doesn't happen right now. That sounds about right. I mean, I don't know. How would you know? That sounds about right. Yeah. Everybody's guess seemed as good as any.
僕全然想像つかないや。
でも、こういう一見安そうなものほど高いのかもしれない。
何か判断の基準が欲しいな。
とは言っても、俺たちには5回で1万円って情報しかないが。
5 things. Okay, did it say that actually? If it said 5 things, so I mean, I would say just divide by 5. 10,000 divided by 5. What is that? I can't do math. 500? I don't know, but then it'd be more than 500. Actually, what is I can't do math. It'd be like 2,000, right? 2,000? Yeah, 2,000, right? 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 2,000 plus 2,000. That'd be 10,000. So just like always, just bet 2,000. You know, it would be the average cost. Whether or not ones will go up or down, I mean, again, because if the game is meant to be one, then no matter what, at least some of them will be lower than 2,000. It has to be.
5回で1万円。そうか。それが基準になるかもしれないぞ。
Because that's the only way the math would work out. Because if everything costs more than 2,000, it wouldn't make 10,000. It would be, I don't know. But then, you know, that could be like, I don't know. Like technically, everything costs like 2,001, and one items cost like 1,999 or something. Like technically, then it wouldn't be right. I don't know. Anyway, Shidou looks surprised and pleased. Which, assuming that everything, all 5 items total to 10,000, then you would want the average. Assuming that's the case.
どういうことだ
5回で1万円をやりくりするということは、5回すべての商品の値段を足しても、
Yeah,
1万円以
Shidou,
内ということだ。
that is my assumption. But we're kind of, again, we're kind of assuming that. We don't know if that's true. It could all equal up to more than 10,000 if, you know, Hogstein is crazy, I guess, and wants to mess up the game. But,
なんで？
例えば、1匹1万2000円など、どうやりくりしても買えないような値段だったら、そもそも勝負としておかしいだろう。
that's a good point.
そうすると、1回あたりの値段の平均は2000円。これを基準にして、その魚が高そうか安そうかを考えることはできる。
なるほどな。実際には値段の幅がどれくらいあるかわからんが、目安が何もないよりははるかにマシだ。
Gumshoe. That just reminds me of Detective Gumshoe from Phoenix Wright.
ただこれはあくまでも推測であって確証はない。とりあえず1回目は様子を見よう。
We decide to lead off with a low bet of 500 yen.
500円だ。
As he spoke, he laid one coin on the tray.
500円お預かり。さて商品のお値段は？
The counter on the alien's chest began to spin. At last, the number ticked into place, stopping at 2,500.
お買い物失敗。代金は没収です。
Number on the statue's forehead dropped to 3, and water began to pour into Urabe's tank. Now, if we're going on the assumption that Shidou made, which is to say that every item will always total the 10,000 yen, then every other item now will definitely be lower than 2,000, right? Because this one costs 2,500. So in total, the average will be 1,500. I guess. I don't know. I think that's right. Or maybe not. Maybe not 1,500, but more so like 500 divided by 5. So that'd be like 10. So at least like 1,990. I don't know. Anyway, but that's assuming Shidou's right. Assuming that every item totals at 10,000, and no matter what, every item would at least, you know, be 1,990. I think, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not very good at my math. No!
目の前でこうなるとプレッシャーがかかるね。
Wakasa shifted from foot to foot nervously.
だがどうやら平均が2000円というのはあながち的外れでもなさそうだな。
さて2つ目の商品はこちら。
Another fish tank lit up. This one with 3 large red goldfish. Are those goldfish?
そんなに単純かな。
とにかくここからだ。2連続で失敗はできない。
平均値の 1.5 倍、3000円くらいぶち込んでみるか。
そうだな。やりくりのリスクはあるが、その金額ならそうそう失敗はないだろう。
We all nodded in agreement.
3000円だ。
That's a lot. He tossed 6 coins into the tray.
3000円お預かり。さて商品のお値段は？
Just as before, the numbers began to spin. They ticked into place, and the value shown was 1,500.
お買い物成功。品物が手に入ってよかったね。
The numbers on the forehead. The number on the statue's forehead remained at 3.
1500円の損だが、買い物は残り3回だ。よくよく考えてみれば、あと1回勝てば、数字がゼロになることはない。
Knowing this game, it's gonna go down to the wire, I guess.
そっか。あと1回勝てれば浦部さん。
No, stop being optimistic. When your characters start being optimistic in a deadly game that can potentially murder them, that's when something goes wrong. Awesome. I can feel the tension begin to slip away. Yes. Just don't feel any tension at all.
さて3つ目の商品はこちら。
Everything's going to be fine. It's just gonna be a boring conclusion where we win and nothing happens, right? Another tank lit up. This one contained 8 small shrimp, each one about half an inch long with red and white spots.
よし、これで決めよう。全額かけてもいいんじゃないのか？
Yeah, let's do it.
よし、6500円だ。
Okay. He threw the remaining 13 coins onto the tray.
6500円お預かり。さて商品のお値段は？
Oh Oh man, I hope this does it. Numbers on the counter started to spin just like before, but when they stopped... 8,000 yen? It didn't make any sense. Yep, I knew it. The assumption was wrong. You know, all the fish tanks does not equal 10,000 yen. It equals more than that. The average is actually more than what you actually have. What? Wait, that can't be right. Those things add up to more than 10,000 yen. The number of the statues for it clicked down to 2. The sound of water pouring into Urabe's tank filled the room.
残りの買い物はあと2回、数字も2、手持ちゼロじゃ、もう手出しができんぞ。
Whoops.
このまま水槽に水が溜まるのを見てるしかないってこと？
水槽がいっぱいになればゲームのクリアも失敗だ。僕らも吹き飛ぶことになる。
Oh, no hidden passageways this time? I guess we just die. Oh no! It was fair to say the atmosphere in the room was grim.
さて、降参しますか？どうしますか？
The tone of the announcer was almost mocking.
降参？自動的にゲームクリア失敗になるわけじゃないのか？
きっと何か見落としがあるんだ。これがゲームである以上、必ずルールがあるはず。
If we missed something, that was probably something the alien said. Come on, Inafune, what did it say? Oh, time for explosive insight. You know what I was thinking, and I could be wrong, but like, what happens if we add fish tanks to the tray? You know, like, obviously we can put coins there, but what happens if we use the fish tank that we had, because we acquired it, right? It belongs to us. So what if we sell that, you know? Does that count as like something we could sell? Maybe. Well, the first thing it said was that if the tank filled up, we'd lose. That seemed pretty straightforward. If the water tank fills up, then Urabe, he just drowns. Well, next it said, now it's time for your real shopping trip. Your commerce skills are going to get a real workout here. So our first game was just a test. He said commerce, that seems like a kind of weird way to talk about shopping. That wasn't all the alien said though. I really don't like the way he talks. He sounds like a real jerk. You know, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but like I think the voice actor who's making the alien voice sounds so familiar. Maybe it's just like a stereotypical, you know, funny voice that voice actors do. Japanese, I don't know. But it sounds so familiar though, for some reason. I don't know where exactly it comes from, but like, hello, I'm the alien. You will now lose the game and your friend is going to drown. You know, this reminds me of somebody, but I don't really remember who. Anyway, you will be given 10,000 yen. You will make 5 purchases. Take care not to run out of money. They gave us 20 of those coins. Each was worth 500 yen. Now we don't have any left. Take care not to run out of money. I really thought that meant that all the items couldn't add up to more than 10,000 yen. That's all I can remember. I gotta figure out what the hint is or we're gonna fail this game. Is there anything that has a different meaning? Something we might have misinterpreted? If we lose, I bet that alien's gonna laugh. There's still gotta be some way we can save Urabe. We can't surrender. Well, I'm gonna say commerce? I think it's commerce. I think the answer is commerce, but... Be careful not to run out of money. Be given. Alien. I don't know. Alien? I don't know if that's correct. Be given. I don't know. I'm assuming the word is commerce. I'm just picking the other words just in case I'm wrong, but I might still be wrong anyway. We'll see, I guess. Ta-da! It is commerce, alright. Commerce meaning we're not just buying stuff, but we're also selling, right? That's my assumption. Commerce, that's it. We don't just buy, we're supposed to sell too.
なるほど、売買か。その言葉、すっかり見落としていたな。早速試してみよう。
Okay. We set the fish we bought earlier on the tray.
1500
The alien spat out 3 coins. Okay, there you
買った
go.
ものを売れば軍資金にできる。それがこの買い物のルールだったのか。
Yeah, once you look at it that way, it makes sense they were adding up to more than we thought. We all nodded, and as we did, the 4th fish tank lit up.
さて4つ目の商品はこちら。
This one was larger than the others, and a single 8-inch catchfish-like creature swimming lazily inside it.
どうするのさ。
俺たちが取れる手は2つ。一か八か。1500円全額かけてみるか。500円だけ出して最後の商品にかけるか。
500 yen is probably not enough to buy anything. We had to win at least one of the next 2 bets, or the number in the alien would be dropped to 0 and Nurube's life would be over.
どのみち1500円しかないんだ。下手に分割するよりまとめた方がいいだろ
We all nodded in approval.
う。よし、1500円だ。
Time to go all in. He tossed all 3 coins onto the tray.
1500円お預かり。さて商品のお値段は。
The numbers spun. When they settled, the price was 2,000 yen. We just never win, I guess. We can never win. Oh no!
お買い物失敗。代金は没収です。
The number on the alien's forehead dropped to 1. We could hear water begin to pour into Urabe's tank.
浦部さん。
The water had already reached his chin.
くそ。
We'd been excited only minutes before about figuring out the game, but now all that was gone. Urabe could still breathe, but just barely.
さて降参しますか。どうしますか。
降参かだと。くそ。仲間への死の宣告を俺たちに言わせたいってのか。
ねえ、もう本当に何もできないのかな。
他にも何か売れる商品があれば。
Maybe you... Well, time to take off our shirts, you know? Take off your glasses. How much does your glasses sell for? They seem pretty custom made. His fists were gripped so tight they were shaking. Wait. Something else to sell. Oh man, I've almost got it. Explosive insight! Okay, again. That's what I'm saying, sell the shirt off your backs, you know? That's what isn't that what they say? Alright, I need to think back. We must have missed something somewhere. Our first game was supposed to be easy. That was the one with the 100 yen sale that had 10,000 yen item. I didn't think the tries we took in the first game put us in a situation. Shidou thought up a way for us to figure out how much the stuff we had cost. It turned out the right item was the stuffed Hogstein. He's so calm even when crazy stuff is going on, and he's really smart. You know, stop fawning over him, Saki. Now's not the time. The stuffed Hogstein. We got it sort of a prize, but I can't imagine anyone would actually pay money for this thing. Well, after that, we came in here and found Urabe. He tied the tank, appears to be unconscious. Every time we messed up, water got poured into his tank. If they pour any more water, Urabe's gonna die. We had a 10,000 yen budget and we had to buy 5 things, but we ran out of money. We've only won 1 thing and lost 3. We can't lose this last one. I figured out we could sell the things we bought, and we thought that solved our problems, but we ran out of things to sell. All we got in this room was that 1,500 yen fish tank, right? Is there really nothing else? If we just had more stuff to sell, then maybe we could do it. Alright, I think I know the answer. Remember the list price for the stuffed Hogstein? We did win it in the last game, right? So we could also sell Shidou. How much does a human cost? You know? I don't know. Might as well hit that as well. But I think the answer is just the stuffed animal we got, which is about like 10,000 yen, right? Kaboom! That's it! The stuffed Hogstein! I think we can sell it too!
えってこれ？
Yeah, let me see it. I grabbed the toy from Wakasa and tossed it on the tray. After a moment,
1万円で買い取りします。
yes! That's a lot of S's. Yes! Coins flew out of the alien's mouth.
そうか。そのぬいぐるみもこのショップで手に入れた商品だった。
なんてこった。お嬢ちゃん、今ほどお前さんを抱きしめたいと思ったことはないぜ。
Shidou grinned and put his hand on my shoulder, but he barely touched me when his expression changed and he quickly pulled his hand back.
いや、なんでもない。とにかくよくやった。
Thanks. I'm smart. Nah. Well, I totally thought he was gonna hug me there for a second or something. Weird. I let out a sigh of relief.
これで振り出しの金額に戻ったね。
ああ、残る賭けはあと1回だ。
Time to go all in. Unless the last item is like 10,001 yen, you know, wouldn't that be a troll?
さて、最後の商品はこちら。
Kochira. A light clicked on to illuminate a large fish tank.
中に何が入ってようがこれが最後だ。かける金額は決まってるよな。
ああ、最後は
1万円。
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 1万yen!
そうだ、1万円全額かけるぞ。
We dump all the coins on the tray and the counter began to spin. When it stopped, the number it showed was 5,000 yen.
わお、
Wow!
夢の買い物をしたね。毎度あれ。
With that, the alien went quiet and another much more familiar announcement rumbled over the PA. We did it.
バザールプラネットクリア。
Hooray! With a gurgling whoosh, the water in Urube's tank began to drain.
よし、浦部を助けよう。
We opened up Urube's tank, tilted out to the side, and slowly lifted him out. Oh man, oh gosh. I grabbed his hand and felt for a pulse. Every one of us felt like they were about to cry.
それもこれも、サキ、お前のおかげだな。
No, we did all this together. Everyone looked at everyone else and nodded.
ゲームステージ5完全クリア。報酬アイテムを入手しました。
Something that looked kind of like a receipt came out of the alien's mouth. It had 07 slash printed on it. Actually, that reminds me of a date. Is that what it stands for? I'm trying to think. The other ones was sun, like Sunday, I guess, like Sunday. Another one was 07, so 0707, so like the 7th of July, maybe. Is that what it is? Is that the treasure? The treasures just print out like a date, I guess. Maybe. Well, I mean, I might be unintentionally spoiling this, but maybe it's the same date as the car crash that Meoshi mentioned, and probably is a reference to from all the little like pendant flashbacks we've been having, you know? What the heck does 07 slash mean?
今はひとまず浦部を何とかするのが先だ。
ああ、こいつを連れて外に出よう。
Alright, so we did it. Amazing.